Good morning, one and all. I am Sujata Dowri, working as assistant professor in SGM College, Karad. Today we can see continuous univariate probability distribution. So, in this term we have four different terms. First is continuous. So, over here the random variable is continuous. Hence, we can see the continuous. Univariate. In the univariate, we have two different words, uni and variate. Uni means single and variate means variable. So single variable and probability distribution means in the random variable the probabilities are distributed continuously. Hence the name is continuous univariate probability distribution. That is, over here the single variable or single random variable in which the probabilities are distributed continuously. Hence the name continuous univariate probability distribution. Now let me see the first definition, that is continuous sample space. So in first year you can see what is a sample space. Sample space is nothing but it is a set of all possible outcomes of the random experiment. So that is my sample space. Sample space, in first year BSc only we can see that sample space is divided into discrete and continuous set. Discrete is again divided into finite and countably infinite number of points. But for the second year we start with continuous sample space. So continuous sample space, a sample space which contains uncountably infinite number of points are called as continuous sample space. For example, we can see the real line which contains the uncountably infinite number of points, or we may have the weight of a person, then it is also a continuous random variable. Also we can have the example as rainfall for the specific period in the specific region, then it is also the example of continuous sample space. Now the next definition is continuous random variable. So second definition, continuous random variable. So since we are studying statistics, and statistics in Marathi we call this as Sankhya Shastra. So that means it deals with the numbers, and if it deals with the numbers we can have our variable. If it is not in the number format, then we must convert it to number so that we can easily analyze the data and give the interpretation of the data. So for that purpose random variables are there. So the definition of continuous random variable is, let a random variable x of omega, we can denote this in this manner. Since it is a random variable, it is denoted with capital letter. So x of omega as a real valued function on domain omega. If the range set of x of omega, that is capital Omega, if this contains continuous number of points or uncountably infinite number of points, then we call this as continuous random variable. Okay, so for example, just like continuous sample space, the example of this is height of a person or weight of a person, or we may have, if I count the lifetime of a tube in hours, then it is also the example of continuous random variable. Now the next concept, that is related to discrete random variable, we have mass for specific point. That is, we can find the probability mass function for discrete distribution. But for the continuous distribution, since it lies between two numbers, that is, we have interval, not the numbers, but there are intervals. So to find the mass of that particular interval, over here we cannot find probability mass function. Instead of this we can find probability density function, or it is also called as PDF. Now let me define the PDF. Let fx, f of x, over here both the letters are small, we may denote this as, or we may denote this as f of capital X small x. So this is the random variable which takes these values small x. So we denote in both the ways. So fx is a real valued function defined on a sample space, defined on a random variable which is continuous, So x is a continuous random variable on which we define a real valued function, say fx. This fx is called as probability density function or PDF if it satisfies following two conditions. These two conditions becomes our fx is strictly greater than or equal to 0 for all values of x, and the second condition becomes the integration over the range of x fx dx, this is equal to 1. If both the conditions are satisfied by any real valued function, we call this function as probability density function associated with a continuous random variable x. Since over here for continuous distribution the mass is not associated with a single value, but it is associated for the range, hence the probability, that means probability of x is in between a to b, this is equal to probability of x is in between a to b, this is again equal to the third probability, that is probability of x is in between a to b including b, and this is equal to probability of x is in between a to b. These all probabilities can be written as a to b fx dx. So that means we can finding the probability for the range a to b including a or not including a, as well as including b or not including b. Okay, so that means if I draw a curve for this, I get the curve for this as, for x axis we have the values of x, and for y axis we have suppose fx. If suppose this looks like in this manner, since it is a curve we get the curve, and for specific values of x, that is the values of x are a to b, I have the region. So for example this is my a and this is my b, then this is the required region for my density function, that is fx. So this is the required region for this probability of fx when it varies from a to specific value a to specific value b. Okay, so this is my probability density function. Now based on this, let me have some examples of probability density function. So the first example is fx is equal to 12 x square 1 minus x for the range of x 0 to 1 is equal to 0 otherwise. So we can check whether the given function is PDF or not. So to check whether it is PDF or not, we must check the two conditions of PDF, and the two conditions of PDF by definition we know that the first condition is fx is strictly greater than or equal to 0 for all x, and the second condition is integration over x fx dx is equal to 1. This is my second condition. So let me check both the conditions. For the first condition, that is fx strictly greater than or equal to 0, we can put the values of x in fx and get the values of fx and check whether these values are greater than or equal to 0 or not. So for the range, we have given the range of x as 0 to 1. So if I put the value of x as 0, our function becomes 0. That means it is greater than or equal to 0. And if I put the value of x as 1 or less than 1, so if I put the value of x as 1, I get this as 12. 1 square is 1, 1 minus 1, that is 0. So it means again we get the value as 0. That means our fx is strictly greater than or equal to 0 for the given range of x. So our first condition, that is fx greater than or equal to 0 for all values of x, or we may write the range set of x over here since it is given to us. So for x is greater than 0 to 1. Okay, so first condition is satisfied. For the second condition, we must check the second condition as, suppose for the range of, I can write over here first the condition. So integration over x fx dx, this is equal to, now I want to check whether this is equal to 1. If it is equal to 1, then function is PDF. Now to check this, I can put the range of x. The range of x is 0 to 1, hence it is 0 to 1, and the value of fx is this. So over here, since 12 is constant, it come out from the integration sign and we can write this as 12 x square 1 minus x dx. Now we can solve this integral by our usual integration solving method. So we can get this integral as 12. Suppose I multiply bracket as x square minus I get x cube. So integration of x square becomes x cube divided by 3 minus x raised to 3 over here. Hence the integration is x raised to 4 divided by 4 and the range becomes 0 to 1 over here. Okay. So now I solve this to get the value. So our fx becomes, fx is equal to 12 as it is. I can put the value of x as 1 over here. We get this as 1 cube, that is 1 divided by 3 minus 1 divided by 4. And if I put the value of this as 0, we get 0. So we have only these two terms. So 12. I can solve this as 4 minus 3 divided by 12 and we get this as 1. That is, since both the conditions are satisfied by a given function, your function is this. So this function is PDF. Okay. So this is my first example. Now similarly we have one more example of different type. So let me have one more example of PDF. We need to check whether the given function is PDF or not. Our function is fx is equal to 3 plus x bracket square divided by 16 for the range of x is minus 3 to minus 1. Next function will be 6 minus 2x square divided by 16 for the range of x is in between minus 1 to 1. Next will be 3 minus x square upon 16 for the range of x is in between 1 to 3 and is equal to 0 otherwise. So our given function is now in this format. So we need to check whether the given function is PDF or not. Okay. So for first, that is the first condition, my first condition is we check whether our fx is strictly greater than or equal to 0 for all ranges of x. So for first range, that is x is in between minus 3 to minus 1. If we have this first range, that is x is in between minus 3 to minus 1. Suppose I put the value of x, since over here we see the function for the given range, it is 3 plus x square. So any value x may be positive or negative, since it is square we get positive value. That means our first equation will be satisfied by this condition. So fx over here is strictly greater than or equal to 0. Now for second we have x is in between minus 1 to 1. Now for this our fx becomes 6 minus 2x square divided by 16. Over here also, since we have x as x square, that means whether the value is positive or negative, it takes the value as plus only. Hence fx is strictly greater than or equal to 0. Now for the third range, I have the range as x is in between 1 to 3. For this range, our function becomes 3 minus x bracket square. Whether I have subtracted x, but if I have subtracted x, then only I can square the term. Hence again this value is also positive, and we can say that for the third range also our fx is strictly greater than or equal to 0. So our first condition is satisfied. Now to check whether our second condition is satisfied, we can write fx as c. Our condition is the integration over x, fx dx. We can check this whether this is equal to 1. So we can write this as our first range is minus 3 to minus 1, and for this range our fx becomes 3 plus x square divided by 16 plus our second range. For the second range, that is x is in between minus 1 to 1, I have fx as this. So I can replace the value of fx, this function. So 6 minus 2x square divided by 16 plus my third integral has range 1 to 3 and the function for this range is this. So I can replace the value. So 3 minus x square divided by 16, and for last range it is 0, so it doesn't affect my equation. Okay, now I solve this and check whether it is equal to 1. So with the usual integration solving method we solve it. Since over here 1 upon 16 is free from x, we can take it from the outside the integration sign, and we integrate this function as 3 plus x cube divided by 3. Okay, and the range is -3 to -1 plus 1 upon 16 which is constant, and the integration of this will be, suppose 6 which is constant term, so 6x minus 2x cube divided by 3 for the range is -1 to 1 plus the last integral becomes, I have the last integral as again 1 upon 16 comma, and for 3 minus x square the integral becomes 3 minus x cube upon -3, since we have the sign of x as minus. Okay, and the range is 1 to 3. Now we put the ranges as 1 upon 16 into, I have again 1 by 3 common, and if I put over here x is equal to -1, we get this as 2 cube divided by 8, 2 cube that is 8, so 8 by 3. Okay, now we can put this minus this value, so 3 minus 3 it goes, so -0 comes for the first bracket, plus 1 upon 16. For this we have again put first of all 1, so we get this as 6 minus over here 1 cube is 1, hence it is 2 by 3. Again if we put -1 we get this as -6 minus plus I have 2 by 3, but this minus and this minus is plus, but again we have one more minus since it is for lower range, hence we have again minus sign with answer as 2 by 3 plus 1 upon 16 into bracket the last range. If I put the value I can take this minus outside the bracket, so minus, so I have now range as, suppose I put 3 over here, 3 minus 3 0, so first value is 0 minus, if I put 1 then it is 3 minus 1 that is 2 cube that is 8, so 8 by 3. Fine. So these are the values after having the values of integral. Now we can simplify the values as, suppose I divide this term, so it will be 6 plus, I can cancel all this term will be cancelled with this term, so I have only remains with us -4 by 3, -4 by 3 and 1 by 16, so it is 4, so minus it will be -1 upon 12. Okay, and the last term will be positive since minus get plus, and 8, so it is 1 by 6, so it is 1 by 6 minus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 6. Now suppose I have this as 12, 1, no, I have over here 2 minus 1 plus 2, so we get answer for this as 4 minus 1, that means it is 3 by 12, that means it is 1 by 4, that means it doesn't equal to 1. Since it does not equal to 1, our given function is not PDF or probability density function. Now let me have one more type of example of same, that is probability density function only. I need to find the constant C, that is we have given the function which is already a PDF, so we know that the given function is PDF and we need to find the constant value of C. So the example of this type is, suppose fx is equal to Cx into bracket x minus 1 0 otherwise, and the range of x over here is 0 to 1. So we have given the function is already a PDF and we need to find this C, the value of C. So since we know that the given function is PDF, it must satisfy the two conditions of PDF. For finding the value of C, I use the second condition, and the second condition is integration over x fx dx. This is equal to 1. So I use this condition. So to use this condition, I can put this as the range of x. The range of x becomes 0 to 1. So 0 to 1, fx becomes cx x minus 1. Since c is constant, it come out from the integration sign. So c x x minus 1 dx, this is equal to 1. So we can solve this integral as c, then integration of this becomes x cube divided by 3 minus x square divided by 2, the range is 0 to 1 is equal to 1. So we get this as c. I can put the value. The first value is 1, so it becomes 1 by 3 minus half, and if I put 0, it doesn't matter my equation. This is equal to 1. So I get this as 2 minus 3 upon 6 is equal to 1. So I get this value as minus 1 upon 6c. Minus 1 upon 6c is equal to 1, and hence the value of c is minus 6. So this is my required value for c, that is constant c, when I have know that the given function is probability density function. Okay, thank you.